Today, we'll be looking at Dubai's top 3 real estate investments with the head of developer sales, Fintan Flannelly.
You're going to have Banyan Tree coming into the market. You've got 25 hours. SLS, Bucharest. Armani, Karl Lagerfeld.
We'll also be looking at what is the best property and project to invest in the UK. One of them is W Residences, branded residences in the centre of Manchester.
Lo and behold, they have the best occupancy rates and the capital appreciation and the highest rents because it's an end-user product.
Welcome to today's episode of Taking Care of Business. We are talking off-plan developer sales and everything you need to know about what are the best investments to make in Dubai. And there's one man that we're going to want on the podcast to talk about, Mr. Fintan Flannelly.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, thank you very much for that intro. How are you?
Oh, I actually did French in school, but I don't remember any of it. So merci beaucoup means thank you, does it?
Très beau chalet.
I know ça va.
Oh, very good.
How are you?
Yeah?
Comment
ça va?
How do you say, do you want off-plan investment in French?
Call Fintan.
There you go.
There you are. That's all you need to know.
So we're going to talk off-plan with people here today, and I'm going to try and keep it as snappy as I can for anyone that's looking to make a move into the off-plan investment markets. We know there's thousands and thousands of launches that happen. I think last year there was a one a day that happened.
One every 25, 26 hours. And this year it's even less.
Oh, really?
Like, so it's like less than a day. It's speeding up again.
Wow. Okay, so there's so much choice out there. I mean, I've seen Bugatti have launched Mercedes, and I've seen them bring in Bugatti. I've seen developers launch Karl Lagerfeld villas. I've seen what are the brand? Let's just fire some brands out there now.
Well, you're going to have Banyan Tree coming into the market. You've got 25 hours. SLS, Bucharest. Armani, Karl Lagerfeld. So like you've done the podcast in the last couple of weeks about branded residence. Yeah. But again, what we're looking at now is where most of the transactions are happening. Yeah. They're not in that luxury segment of the market. So that like for yourself, you love a branded residence. It's proven to be very successful for you. However, you're not the typical person that we're dealing with. So what today we want to do is talk about where's the value in the market, where are the new areas, because some of the more established areas that people are aware of, they're seeing price increases because the land there, the infrastructure is there, and the developers are struggling to find land at feasible prices.
Do you know, you say obviously about me and the branded residences, the best investment I've made in terms of a yield is in the Jumeirah Gulf Estates apartments. Yeah. Because I bought them on a post-payment plan. I'm still paying post-payment plan, but I'm receiving the full rental income of the new value. So my yield is like 13%.
Can I correct you there? Yeah. Your tenant is paying your post-handover payment plan. You aren't.
Thank you, tenant.
Just wanted to...
But I think it's important to know. I mean, if you can get the right payment plan, right location, right build time, I think that, location is obviously relevant, but branding and everything else is not everything. So let's get into it. Yeah. Let's get into what are the best investments to make in Dubai. So we've pinpointed 3 projects locally and 1 internationally. So let's talk about the first one. What's the number 1 project you would want to mention?
So today I want to talk about maybe locations that people aren't so familiar with. So when everyone typically knows Dubai, they know the main arteries, the motorways, and they come out Sakim to Al Qudra and they come out Hessa Street. And that seems to be the centre. So either side of centre at the moment, you look at the Al Ain Road and you come back between the 311 and the 611.
If someone who doesn't know Dubai that well, what is the 311, 611?
So that's the Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road and Emirates Road. Okay. So that's considered Dubai land zone. Okay. So in the last couple of years, the Al Ain Road has been upgraded. Mm-hmm. It's a fantastic motorway. So
lovely tarmac, yeah?
Oh, smooth.
Oh, shiny tarmac.
Yeah. But if you're coming out of Business Bay, a lot of traffic will come out this way, even if they're living in the villa communities, because it's better than going down Hessa or Sakim. So in that area, you already have Silicon Oasis, Academic City. But there's a pocket of land that Aldar launched their first project last year, The Haven. Townhouse villa, and there'll be apartments to be launched this year in that location. But there's also DRC, Dubai Residential Complex, that sits off the Al Ain Road.
So if you were to talk about DRC, which is where you want to, I suppose, talk about now, where would that be in terms to a development that would be well known?
Villa Project.
Okay.
So just at the back of the Villa Project, between the Villa Project and the Al Ain Road.
Okay. So that's where IMG World is, isn't it?
IMG is a little bit closer to Global Village, so a little bit closer in towards that Sakim, Hesse. So over there, the first project is by a developer called Imtiaz.
Okay.
Now, back in 2016, I think one of the first townhouses I sold was with Imtiaz while it was under their contract name. So just a bit of background about them. They've been contracting in the market for a long time. They have been doing it for other developers. And about 15, 16 months ago, Imtiaz launched as a brand in the market. And how they differentiate themselves was they have beautifully designed homes, smart home technology. Alexa is controlling the AC, the lighting, everything. They're coming fully furnished. So they have done projects in Furjan, JVC, and now they've got their first project in DRC. Okay. So studios, 1 bed, 2 bed.
So what's the entry price and how would you get into a Imtiaz development?
Under 600,000 for a studio that's fully furnished.
Wow.
Okay. And the big thing for this, the big thing for this location, Silicon Oasis has been highlighted in the urban plan of 2040.
Okay.
So we have the road networks already there. Silicon Oasis here. We have academic city, and we can see that there's a lot of money being pledged towards education.
So what you're saying really is if you're buying in that community, the infrastructure is already going to be around you and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So 600,000 will get you a studio furnished. What's the down payment on the studio?
20%.
Okay.
Typically, a lot of developers now running with a 20% down payment. 1 bed's in there for 770.
So 140,000 dirhams down, you can buy a fully furnished 1 bed.
Yeah.
Okay. And when's the next payment due?
Next payment is due. That they do a mix of time linked and construction linked. Okay. So you're looking in there at approximately every 3 months.
Okay.
Okay. Really good developer. Again, for value for money, the land is cheaper there. The product quality is as good as you'll find anywhere in Dubai. So you're buying into an area that's developing, that's a little bit under the radar at the moment. So I think you'll get the capital appreciation over time.
What I find crazy about something like that project is that everyone complains about the rent in Dubai and prices going up. But like the UK, let's say London as an example, the further you go out, the more value for money you get. A 600,000 dirham mortgage repayment is probably going to be about 2,500, 3,000 dirhams a month. Yeah. You can live in Dubai and you can live in these up and coming areas in a furnished studio / 1 bed for 3,000.
This is a beautiful product. The amenities are second to none. They've got AW Interiors doing the design, and the fit out is, and again, big thing here, the developer has already been a contractor. So all of those quality control issues that you might get between a developer and a contractor are eliminated.
Okay.
The last thing I'd probably say with these guys is they've been in the market a long time. They know where there's value in the market, and that's why some of these guys are going out to DRC now.
Yeah, I see that as a growth product. I think, if you fast forward to handover, they should be seeing 850,000 for a studio and 1.2 for a 1 bed.
I'm going to use a little backtrack. Sorry, I'll go back to 2015-16 when Ellington came into market in JVC. DRC today is like JVC was back then. Ellington went in there with a premium product. The price point, everyone said it was too high, wasn't going to work in the area. Lo and behold, they have the best occupancy rates and the capital appreciation and the highest rents because it's an end user product.
There you go. Okay, so that is the entry-level end-user product. What is the next development you think that we should be highlighting to anyone watching this?
I'm just going to go back into an area that a lot of people would be familiar with. It might seem to contradict what I've just said about developing area. In Arjan, we've had a lot of success with a new developer in the marketplace. Okay. Avalon. Okay.
So Avalon, if I'm not mistaken, for your reference, you guys and other agents in Dubai, they pretty much launched it, and I think in one day we sold like 10 units in one day. It's a very popular development.
So again, if you were to ask me about Arjan 6-7 years ago compared to JVC, I would have said Arjan, a lot of singular owner building to rent, no infrastructure, no greenery, no amenities. You're seeing that all now come to life. The infrastructure's there. The location has always been the same. The schools have already been in that area, but now you're looking at it benefiting from Dubai Hills Estate coming to fruition.
Of course.
You've got the mall open. So, for example, Avalon have a site in there that's 500 meters away from the My City Centre where your Carrefour and Tim Hortons. Okay. So all those amenities come out. You've got them on your doorstep. But the big thing for me is we've been in Dubai a long time with families and people living here. The mall is a huge fabric of society.
Agreed.
So for those months of the year where people can't get out, being close to a mall is important.
So this one, Avalon, you're saying specifically is very close to the big Dubai Mall.
5 kilometers away.
Oh, wow.
From the mall, the business park, the park itself. So it benefits from being the next neighborhood to Dubai Hills. People are being priced out of Dubai Hills now. But if you want to move out of Dubai Hills, you're going to move out if you get quality, a much nicer place to live, and you save money. So with Avalon, the developer is new.
Yeah.
But it's his brother has done 12 projects with Iman in Dubai.
Okay, so if you wanted to buy in Avalon, what are the prices? What's the entry point?
640 for a studio. 640,000 dirhams for a studio. The one beds are sold out. They were starting at 950,000. There's 2 beds, corner units with a nice balcony and a pool feature for 1.4 million. Yeah. Payment plan, brilliant on this one. Because their first project, they will do 20% down on booking. Then we have 3 installments of 10%. And those installments are construction linked.
Okay.
When 20%, that means when the project reach a milestone of 20% built, you'll pay 10%. When it's reached 40%, another 10.
So you don't pay unless it's built. That's the best way to describe
Absolutely.
it. I like that.
And 50% on handover, which is, again, mortgageable.
Of course.
And if you're doing, say, on $1,500,000 over a 20-year mortgage, the monthly repayments are really...
1,500, 2,000 dirhams a month.
And I think with this product in particular, some people think I'm a mortgage buyer today and I don't want to look at off plan. Well, if you're a mortgage buyer today, you're going to have your 20% plus your money for your fees. Correct. That's your down payment.
I think personally with off plan, if you're sitting on 100, 200, 300,000 dirhams and you're sitting being told you can put your money into a property, that property is going to get built. And whilst it's being built, you're going to get the value of the whole property based on your down payment, and your property is going to go up in value. People are crazy not to go and invest in something along these lines to make their money work for them. That's the most important thing that I'd pass on to anybody. I say this to everybody, and sometimes it comes across a little bit arrogant and cocksure, but I've actually made more money in property than I have in my own business. And my business I class as successful because my properties, my down payments are there, but the value is on the whole property value, not on the down payment. So the ROI is so much better than anything else you can get them back. People talk about Bitcoin. One of my friends go harps about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the best performing asset in the world. Yes, it is. If you bought it at 30,000, it's at 60. You put £10,000 in, means you've made £10,000. That's not exciting. What is exciting, if you put 10% down a property value, and it goes up 20%, you double your deposit, or 100%, you 10x your deposit. Anything can happen in property, but you're leveraging the whole value of the property versus the deposit. That's where the gains are. The gains are not in the deposit. They're in the property value.
Well, for a lot of people looking at real estate, they're looking at it being a safe class.
Yeah.
They're risk adverse. So how do you make money, the best money, when you're risk adverse? It's by putting the least amount down and letting the market carry you.
Sounds good. I like being carried, so I'll take that.
You're a big lad.
6'5". It's a lot of body to carry. Okay, and the third off-plan project that we would like to highlight today?
There's District 11 is an area along the Al Ain Road. We're going back to the Al Ain Road again.
Yeah.
And you live in Hillside.
Yes, I do.
Why?
Thanks to all the users out there that wants to know where I live. I live in Hillside.
Yeah, well, you've said it enough over the years, okay? But what was it appeal about that?
Modern, 5-meter windows, basement cinemas, gyms, all built into it. But I loved the Miami style. Like I wanted the White House, the floor-to-ceiling glass effect, the modern house.
Okay, so
and it was very exclusive.
That's the point. Okay, so if there was 300 units the same, would you have had the same love affair?
No, because in our street there's 20 houses. Everyone wants to live on that street, and there's no. I mean, how many houses trade in a year on that street of 20? There's not a lot. So when they do come available, people want to jump on it.
So supply and demand, basic economics.
Supply and demand.
So back here in District 11, there was plots sold off, and you have developers like Ellington have gone in there, and they're developing villa communities. Mm-hmm. So you've got pockets in here, different developers, but the price that's been set in that area is probably 14 million dirham entry point.
Okay.
Now, at a later stage, Ellington will be launching townhouses within this area, and I think that's going to be a sure bet because there's no townhouses in there.
Yeah.
So in there, over the last number of months, we've seen Wadi Villas come in there. We've seen Woodlands.
So Woodlands, I want to talk about that very quickly. Is this the one is literally the forest? What's that development?
Okay, this is Majid Al Futtain's new one that's coming to market very shortly.
Let's talk about that in a minute. I want to get onto that.
That's
so
one.
Let's finish District 11. Then we'll talk about that one.
So District 11, you've got pockets there, maybe 40 up towards 30, 40 villas, four to six beds. I can't say the description as well as you did. I say about Hillside, but you got properties in there. Some have basements.
Is it contemporary glass fronted?
Oh yeah.
So I call that like modern sexy vibes. Is what I would sell it as.
Modern sexy vibes. Okay. I'll do that on my next property.
See, hello. Would you like to buy a modern sexy vibe villa?
My next property description title.
See how you get on with it,
vibes,
yeah?
and see how we go. Yeah.
Might work.
I'll never know. So in there we have beautiful villas, really well designed, and now you have Tarrif again. Tarrif falls under the umbrella of Yas Holdings.
Yeah.
They've launched on the PAM. They've launched in JGE. They've launched 2 projects in JVC. Now they're taking a plot in there. There was a big launch there a couple of weeks ago to announce their collaboration with Karl Lagerfeld, back to branded residence. But this is a true collaboration. The team from Paris were over. They were very much involved in the design of the homes. So in here you have your 4 to 6 beds. 6 beds on the lagoon will have a basement.
What's the starting price for a 6 bed on the lagoon?
You're looking at about 40 million.
Okay.
Waiting for exact details to come through, but you're looking at an entry point for the 4 beds. And there's only 6 4-beds in it from 15 to 16 mil.
If you look at waterfront developments, you show me a waterfront villa, 6-bedroom, contemporary, that's not 50, 60 million anyway. I mean, you can't get a modern contemporary villa on the Palm for less than 80 million for that size. Go to Jumeirah Golf Estates, you're probably paying a minimum 50, maybe 60 million for a modern villa. So if you're 40 million and you're on a lagoon, you're buying in with potential capital appreciation as well.
Yeah.
What's down payments for the villa like that?
Again, they're all going with 20%.
Okay.
So again, we're waiting for the exact details on the payment plan to come through.
So just a casual 8 million dirham down.
As you do.
As you do, just a casual 8 million then.
In your back pocket.
Yeah, not my back pocket.
I would just stop.
Okay, so there's some great projects there. The one that just I want to touch on a minute ago is Majid Al Futtain.
Yeah.
So Majid Al Futtain, I like their vision. I like what they're trying to do. Obviously, Majid Al Futtain built more of the Emirates. They've got a lot of brands under their business. They are quite new to residential project developments, but obviously Talal Al Ghaf and the success it's had. You said they're launching something else soon. What are they launching?
So 100% right with Majid Al Futtain. I think our very first podcast when I joined you guys, we were talking about what was my top tip.
Yeah.
And it was Majid Al Futtain, Talal Al Ghaf.
Yeah.
In here, you're going to see a gated community. We're seeing more themes of wellness, sustainability, mobility, car-free zones, so people can get out and enjoy their space.
Yeah.
Again, there's a little bit of information that's come into the market. This is not accurate, but this is what we know so far. It's going to be apartment living. So think Al Barari and Talal Al Ghaf came together, had a baby, but it was just all apartments. And it was singular buildings.
Talal Al Barari.
Yeah. So you're getting the best of both, but now it's just apartment living.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see, when people think Al Barari, what do they think of? Greenery. It's just this pocket of...
Plot size as well, by the way.
And
apartment size.
The apartment size are good. So in Al Barari, you have the neighborhood, which are the smaller entry-level apartments. Then you have Ashar and Seventh Heaven. Mm-hmm. So I see in here, the location is on the 311, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road, between IMG and Global Village.
Okay.
They're looking at, talk is about 60% of the community will be greenery.
It's incredible.
So this is going to be next level.
I mean, this is the one thing I was talking to someone about Jumeirah Golf Estates the day where I live, and we're talking about how we can improve the community. A lot of people just want a better lifestyle for their families. It's not just about the house, being able to walk out and have the parks and the trails and the bike tracks and these things that people want to get out and do whilst you can. Having that in a community, I honestly feel will have a massive draw to it. Talal Al Ghaf is that example where people want to be there. Would I move to Talal Al Ghaf? Yes, I would. I would love to be on the water.
Aspirational.
But I want to see what it looks like first. Talal Al Ghaf is their first real big development. Is it going to deliver what it says it's going to deliver? And if it does, you'll find a lot of people will want to move there.
Well, is Talal Al Ghaf delivering what they said they were going to deliver? Look at Harmony prices now. Look at the Elan prices. The people are speaking with their checkbooks.
Yeah.
So they've hit a sweet spot in the market. And I think when you look at this new project, it's on the DDA, Dubai Development Authority. It's under Gaff Woods. We don't know if that's going to be the official name yet.
We'll call it Gaff Woods, yeah?
Just for now. Because it's on the DDA. Let's run with that.
Okay.
But in there, I think, for example, there's people that children have grown up in Dubai. They're downsizing. They've flown the nest.
Yeah.
Do you want to be living
in 5 years, mate?
Oh, stop.
Don't
know. She was 14 last.
That's what I'm saying.
A couple of weeks ago.
18, Dad, I'm off to London.
I'll tell you. No, not London. But people that have the big villas that can afford to cash out now in this market, I would be saying, put your money in there, get a beautiful apartment in a developing community, at a 3-bed. Again, we don't know the prices, but take advantage of the market prices, sell here and invest your money back in here.
Or refinance and use your money and keep going.
Exactly.
There are different options out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's some great options in Dubai, and I think Dubai, in my opinion, is the best market in the world at the moment. There's no doubt about it. There's no capital gains. There's no income tax. There's no... I was
going to say VAT, but that's
Del Boy. There's definitely VAT.
It's fatter, right?
There's no tax on your rental income. There's no tax on your profit. It's still pound for pound the best investment market in the world. But I also do think a lot of people like to deviate away from Dubai. And one of them that I like the look of and I think it's worth a mention, we're tying up with UK partners at the moment to offer UK investments to people, specifically people that are selling their houses and looking to redistribute their funds. We're working with our partners on projects. One of them is a W Residences, branded residences in the centre of Manchester. 2 bedrooms around £750,000 for 1,000 square feet. It's going to be one of the most price per square foot highest developments in that area. But it's the first branded residences of the W outside of London ever. And I think there's going to be more to come.
And why do you think they selected Manchester for that?
I think it's up and coming. I still think, that it's a vibrant city. It's as close to London as you can get, as in like the street life and the lifestyle. Okay. You've got a place like Deansgate, which is where the streets are and the bars and restaurants. You've obviously got 2 very famous football teams, Man United and Man City.
Not Coventry, no. They didn't go
Coventry
for Coventry.
Didn't, mate. No, there's no investment in Coventry.
Pretty good news for Coventry, though, at the weekend.
Yeah, we're going to Wembley, mate. We're playing Manchester United, which is obviously part of the investment circle of the W. So I think there's going to be more branded residents coming to the UK. And I think a lot of people in the UK specifically, I think they want that. Now, I'll tell you where I'm at. Obviously, I go to London in the summer and we've got a nice place in London. But when I go back there, I miss the facilities because I don't have a pool. I don't have a gym. I don't have that built in. Now, I go to a gym and a pool.
Yeah.
But having that on your doorstep and in your facility, you take that for granted in Dubai that you have this there. So I think a lot more people in the UK are looking for this. And I think the branded W residence, I think 80% sold out, is with Gary Neville and a company called Salboy. Salboy is obviously part of the developers and it's backed by one of the big betting companies in the UK. Like, it's £1 billion business that it's with. So there's some great opportunities out there. I think the main thing I would advise everybody to do when they're talking about property is you've got to make your money work for it. Everyone wants to sit on their money. But if you want to become wealthy later on to a point where you're not reliant on your just income from your job, you have to make your money work. And to do that, you've got to be comfortable with your money not being in your bank. So the W Manchester, I bought that about 5 months ago, a pre-launch, and I think it's gone up 10% from when I bought it to what it is today. The projects you're talking about are going up 10, 20% a day. You can double your deposit on paper value of your assets. So some great options out there.
One last one, you just said it there. We've got one project that has just come to market this week. They're selling at pre-launch prices. It's in Furjan. Post-handover payment plan, 3 years, 1% per month.
1% per month?
That's the post-handover element. You pay 20% down. You get the pre-launch price now. We know we're going to go up between 10 and 15%.
Yeah.
20% down, 20 months of 1% during construction.
Wild.
24% on handover. And then 36 months of 1% per month. In here, when the developer hits a milestone of 40% of sales, the price is going up. So before a brick is even laid, by putting 20% down, you're already getting a 10 to 15% capital depreciation.
Which is nearly 80% of your down payment. So 180% gain on your money down on paper.
Yeah.
So I think that's the nooks and crannies off plan. There are lots of opportunities out there. If you are looking for any investment advice, whether that's UK, the UAE, Fintan is the man about town, knows his numbers, knows the developers, is the man on the streets, beating the path to make sure we offer the best investments to clients in Allsopp and Allsopp. Thank you very much for coming down, Fintan.
Thank you very much.
And we will see you soon. Cheers, guys.